Hey everyone, welcome to another espresso. This is something that people ask me all the time. And I had this scenario, someone called and I held on. My colleague who sits next to me, who's the same level as me, who's nowhere near as good as me, just got a promotion in an external firm. So they got like the big job, head of whatever it was. I didn't even get the phone call and I'm way better than them. So yeah, maybe they were better than them, but they didn't get the phone call. And you need to get the phone call, right? Otherwise, you're not going to get involved in an interview process. You can't showcase how incredible you are and all of that stuff. So the question is, how do you get the phone call? You know, and there's this thing called the hidden jobs market, and people talk about it all the time. So if you don't know what that is, it's, you know, at a certain level, many jobs aren't advertised. So, you know, like early on in your career, junior jobs, mid-level and stuff, there's a lot of companies, they're hiring themselves, they're advertising, you know, you're jumping on LinkedIn, whatever jobs board you look at, and you'll see a job like sales manager, you know, apply here, and you apply, and then maybe you get the AI, then maybe you get some more AI, then maybe you get a human and whatever. But you'd be like, you can see the jobs they're around, right? Your friend will forward you a job. Oh, mate, you should apply for this one, you know. Suddenly, those jobs, the ones that you want, they're not being advertised. And maybe they're with a headhunter. Maybe their internal exec search team are doing it themselves. And they're not advertised. And I run a global exec search firm, and by and large, we advertise 0% of the searches that we're working on. So how do you get access? And that's the big question. And a lot of people are like, well, come on, how do I, you know, and you know, at that level, it's not always the best person that gets the job. I mean, maybe that best person is just not visible and they haven't had the phone call and they don't know the headhunter that's running the search. They've not been referred by anyone. They've not been found. They're not being found by the headhunter. So there's a few things, right? Like you kind of, I'm alluding to here, that you need to do once you start to get to a certain point in your career. And the overriding thing is like, you need to be visible. You need to be visible to all sorts of different folks because you want to get the phone call. Doesn't matter who it comes from. But you want to get the phone call. You want to be invited. You want to be, you know, you want to have a seat at the table. You want to participate. You don't want to get passed over. You know, you don't want to be like going to your colleagues, leaving do, you know, begrudgingly, or maybe not, but, you know, congratulating them for that big job that you kind of like think I could have done that. So there's a few things you can do. And I'm going to go through them. And number one is networking. And my team keep telling me actually, like networking, yeah, you keep talking about networking. A lot of people don't know how to do it. Like, what is networking? How do you do it? And stuff like that. I've done a lot of content on networking. But I'm going to say to you, networking is like, it's like lifeblood of career, business, you know, like all these kind of classic corny phrases, right? It's like your network is your net worth. It's all about who you know. You know, when you want to get tickets for that, the tickets for the 100-meter final at the Olympics. Like, how do you get that? Oh, I know someone that knows someone that knows someone. So anyway, this is all networking. Networking is done throughout your life, and it's not about selling. It's not about asking people for stuff. It's about making friends with people, and it's about staying in touch and being good at staying in touch, remembering things about people, and doing things for people, like doing favors, like being there, right? Be there for people, and they'll be there for you. You know, throughout life. And so in a work context, it's being good at staying in touch with your ex-colleagues. Like, you know, social media makes it really easy to do that. You know, like connect with them on LinkedIn, connect with them on Instagram, maybe Facebook, X, whatever you use, right? LinkedIn's good because it's business and all of that stuff. So network internally. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Once you're connected on LinkedIn or other social platforms, even when people move off and go, you can kind of keep tabs on people. You can see what they're up to. It's really easy to message them. Hey, John, like, love to grab a coffee with you at some point, find out how the new job's going. Whatever, like just make friends and stay in touch with people. There's so many people back in the day when I was like, I did so many different jobs like during school and university and stuff. But back pre school days and stuff, it's like there wasn't no Facebook until my second year of university. And like I lost touch with quite a few folks. And I'm like, damn, like what was that person's name? We got on really well. We worked together for like 2 weeks in the summer. Like, no excuse now, like none. So be really good at like building your social network digitally and offline. Because, you know, like to be friends with people, you got to spend time with them. So, you know, having coffees, lunches, breakfast, dinners, whatever. But then, you know, people move countries and people move companies and, you know, like everyone's busy and, you know, or everyone uses busy as an excuse not to see people. And you're like, oh, should I go for a drink with the guys? Oh, I'd rather go to the gym, or oh no, I need to go home and put the kids to bed, or whatever, you know, whatever life you're doing in life, it's always something. So LinkedIn's great. Stay connected, messaging people. You still feel, you know, you're staying connected, and even maybe like once a month, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, go make yourself a nice coffee and just go through your contacts and be like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How's your new job? Whatever. And then, you know, at some point like in the future, one of those people might be like, oh, we're looking for a sales director. Oh, you know what? I worked with Lewis like 10 years ago. You should call him. Actually, he'd be really good for this. And so they've remembered you, and they've probably remembered you because you've connected, you're staying in touch, you're making an effort. Most people don't, right? And it's nice when people make an effort. Like you feel really good. It's like, hey, do you want to go for a drink? Yeah, I'd love to go for a drink. Oh, thank you for asking me. Oh, I can't this time, but maybe next time. Stuff like that. So that's a bit of networking. Then you've got the headhunter network, where, again, early on in your career, and I've heard this so often, I've never had to use a recruiter or a headhunter before. Great. So why are you calling me? Oh, you can't find that. You know, it's like, oh, I'm, you know, not getting called about these heads of jobs. I can't quite get into that first leadership role. Then, so, you know, lose that kind of like, you know, never had to use a recruiter before thing, and go and meet all the different headhunters. There's lots of headhunters, and everyone has a different network, and all these jobs are retained. So one headhunter is working on one search, and again, if you don't know them, or they can't find you, or someone hasn't referred you, you're not getting the phone call. So invest time in making friends with headhunters in your space, and it's quid pro quo, right? Like, you make friends with people, you have a chat, you meet, all of these kind of things. So much value in that. And you do those two things, and I think by and large, you're putting yourself in a pretty decent position to get the phone call. And obviously, like, do incredibly well at your job, outperform, work hard, keep learning, developing, growing, you know, all of those things. And then, of course, you have all of the networking events or your industry events, stuff like that. So there's a lot of that you can do, because this leads me on to building your personal brand. And you're doing it a little bit already with this networking that you're already doing, you're meeting your ex-colleagues, you're meeting headhunters, you're going to these things. Brand is key now, and it always has been, but personal brand, because brand builds your leverage. People think you're an expert in your space, you know, and obviously you're contributing to the conversations online. You're commenting on people's stuff online. Maybe you're speaking at industry events, or you're going for coffees with people, and you know you're giving good advice, and people are like, yeah, you got to go speak with him. You know, he's like, go speak with, you know, he'll know what to do, or whatever it is. You know, you're kind of positioning yourself as like the person in your space, and that's building your personal brand, and it takes time and it takes effort, but it positions you. You know, and suddenly it's like you have to go speak with you, right? So, you know, someone's hiring for whatever it is in your space. Go see if he's available. Got to, you know, go see if she's free. And, you know, she might not be, but you know, go have a chat, and then you know, suddenly you're going to be getting tapped on the shoulder, and you can be seen, and you can be visible, you know, and you can do that online and offline. So, you know, I hear a lot of people say, I'm introvert, I don't want to go out to these networking events and person stuff. You can do it online, and it's really effective, because you can write stuff. You know, you can do like a newsletter, you can do content, you can comment, you can do video calls. There's so many things now that you can do, and so it's really, really important that you invest time in building your personal brand in your space. Like, what do you want to be known for, and contribute. You know, like people with a point of view. Have a point of view. It doesn't have to be controversial. You don't have to stray into things a little bit risky. Just have a point of view about what you do, and people will respect you for it, and they'll value you for it. And even if they don't agree with you on it, people like people with a point of view, and it's important. And these kind of things will build your personal brand and position you, and make you be more visible, and the conversations become different, really, really different. And you'll start getting more phone calls about the big jobs, and it's important. Third thing is LinkedIn profile. I know so many videos on this. It's important. That's why there's so many videos on it. Optimize your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn's owned by Microsoft. Microsoft invested in ChatGPT. I mean, you might have seen that they have all of these AI. They have ChatGPT baked in now for almost everything. It will optimize your LinkedIn profile. It will build your resume from your LinkedIn profile. I mean, loads of stuff. So really easy now. Or just go jump on ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or whatever you use and build out your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is for you to be found. Like, I think that's the point for me, right? So be on there. And this is your digital resume, arguably more important than the actual resume. And make sure it's obvious what you do. Think of it as screenshots. Like, if I jump on your profile, I want to know what you're about within that first screenshot, and then I maybe will scroll down, and okay, cool, then maybe I'll scroll down a bit more and stuff like that, right? So if a human is jumping on, it needs to be really obvious what you do. Great. And then if you're contributing to the conversation, you're posting and commenting and liking and stuff, and I can see it in your activity, that's cool. I like that. And again, you'll be found more often. And things like that. So just make sure it's like, you spent some time on it, and, ask whoever you trust. I mean, there's always different views on what, how to do it, what to do, what to write, how to construct the sentence, whatever. But just, make sure it's good. Make sure people can find you because the keywords are right. And you'll be found more often by headhunters, by internal recruiting teams, by hiring managers, by people recruiting themselves, so make it obvious. And it's worth spending a little time, and it doesn't even need to be that much time. And you can do that. And then you can even just use their resume builder to then generate your resume from that. So there are a few things I think that one can do to give yourself access to the hidden jobs market. And it sounds all mysterious. It's not so hidden, but it is. It's just, it requires more effort, because I think that's the thing. It's almost like when the blinds go up in poker. It takes mentally a bit of time to readjust to what the new normal is. And I think when you're getting into, to these roles where they're leadership roles, they're recruited, there might be confidential searches, they're using a headhunter, their exec recruiting team, they're not advertising it publicly, then, that's when you need to really work on being visible. This is something you can do from day one, by the way. The minute you enter the workforce or before, you can do this, you can invest a little time in connecting with people, content, liking, commenting, going to industry events, being out there a bit, putting yourself out there and stuff like that, as well as, of course, learning, doing an incredible job, working hard, working smart, being there for people. Because again, internally, if you're doing an incredible job, people will remember. And when they move on, and I hear this all the time, this is my final point on this. How did you get your job? Oh, I used to work with them. They called me, when they were there, and I followed them. So you do hear that. So always just go all in, do the best you can. Even if you're in a job where you hate and you're looking for a new job right now, don't let yourself down. Work hard until the end. Even if you feel like you've been dealt a bad hand, leave gracefully. Thank people for their time. Shoulders back, stand up straight. Just don't let people affect you. Just do it properly. Thank people for their time. Don't speak badly. Leave. There's better things elsewhere for you. So there's some of the things I think you should do. It's worth it. If you invest time in it, this is a long-term thing. You will see the benefits. Have a good one.